This is the situation at the end of the night turn of the first day at Arnhem and Nijmegan. As we can see, the British Airborne have made quite a bit of progress forward, because this Blue Brigade not only had their own chit in first, they also had the divisional chit, and the German defences have sort of buckled slightly. The Kampfgruppe, it's still got elements around, but they're strewn all over the place. Now the problem is that they managed to get a couple of units close to Arnhem. You still got the Arnhem road bridge there. Where's the rail bridge? Well, the old rail bridge is over there, so you've got that if you can get to it. If you can actually seize control of that, you've got a bridge that will do the job. The problem with not seizing the road bridge is it means that the Germans, particularly the 10th SS, can easily move around the board. Whereas in reality, because Frost had got to the bridge, they had to cross the Rhine via ferries and things, which is a really laborious process. So you really got to try and shut the road bridge if you can. They've actually got very close to where this Arnhem pontoon bridge is, so a bridge could be built there by 30 Corps. We've got actually in Arnhem itself, there are elements, quite a few elements of the 9th SS turning up. There are tanks, Panzer Grenadiers, there's armour, light armour, reconnaissance and things in that area. So it's not brilliant. The big thing is at 7 o'clock you get your next power drop, the second drop. Now I'm doing this as dropping historically. Admittedly, you can play the game and drop randomly, but to be quite honest, I think I want to sort of play this out as it went historical. I don't want to be totally you could end up playing something completely different. Say the second drop was held up for a day, it would have been a disaster, to be honest. If we go down to Nijmegan, the Americans managed to get a couple of Jeep units through the streets. Because it's easy to get round in the dark, and they're in column, they managed to just drive round the German defences, which are fairly weak in that part of Nijmegan, and they're on the bridge. Now, unfortunately, they are faced with independent units of the 10th SS, and there's a motorised Pioneer unit there, so, and also the divisional artillery of the 10th SS. Though they're not going to hold on there, they're just going to be smashed to pieces. You're probably best staying there and stopping these 10th SS units and crossing the river, but yeah, just check something out. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, they've actually captured the Nijmegan rail bridge. Now that is wired, so I'm going to have to roll for an attempt to blow that bridge, and they failed, I think. Okay, sorry about that. Now, yeah, what happened is they rolled a 6, which would be fine if the positions when they hit the bridge were like they are now. Well, they weren't, because there's a German fire zone onto the bridge, so that 6 would have been, the demolition's okay. But the point where those recce units reached the rail bridge, there was no German fire zone on the bridge, so effectively that was a failed demolition. Another rule that's been in place down south is Garrison. You've got to garrison that bridge. It's really important to keep that bridge open for 30 core. Now, the rules also state you're supposed to garrison the moot bridge, but we don't hold the moot bridge. But what we do hold is the Meldon bridge, so I'm going to apply the garrison rules to the Meldon bridge, which is perfectly adequate. You were to get 30 core across this canal, the Marsville Canal. Other things, the Americans are pressing very close into the suburbs of Nijmegan and into Nijmegan city itself. The big problem is the German defences there have sort of pulled back, creating a zone where they're not. It's been difficult for the Americans to get at them, so there hasn't really been any fighting. Fighting at night's difficult. For a start, because you get a -2 to all your firepower. Also your movement, terrain and everything's doubled. So the Americans are trying to press as close as they can to make an assault on Nijmegan tomorrow morning. It'll be interesting though, because it's tuck and go here that the German units here can actually cross the road bridge and support. So we can get these assault engineers across that bridge. They're going to toughen up the defences in Nijmegan no end. Other activity, got a little bit of German activity around here, but some more German units coming on in the south here from the Reichswald. They're going to be aiming at taking the Moot Bridge and probably pushing up the Vaal and the canal there to try and sever 30 Corps route. But there is a small amount of American units in the area. Other things we've got is German 10th Corps units here, these armoured Panzer Grenadiers and Recce units crossed the Arnhem road bridge in the night, heading down to Nijmegan. So all in all, it's tight here, but I think the Allies aren't doing too bad. There's a definite chance they might be able to take the Arnhem railroad bridge. And that would be a major success, considering what happened historically. The actual odds of taking Nijmegan road bridge, are not looking good, to be honest. But they might be able to sneak an end run round here and get to the rail bridge again. It's really a case of waiting. Once we've achieved our main objectives, we've just got to wait for 30 Corps, but we haven't actually achieved the main objectives of the operation at all in the northern area.